US President Donald Trump has met the Brazilian leader on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit in Kuala Lumpur. It's the first meeting between Lula da Silva and Trump since the US imposed hefty tariffs on Brazil. Trump linked the levies to the prosecution of his ally, Jair Bolsonaro, which he described as a witch hunt. Bolsonaro was convicted of plotting a coup. Lula said he sees no reason for conflict with the US. Let's bring in Rob McBride, who's at the summit for us in Kuala Lumpur. Rob, so President Lula meeting with Trump. This is the first time they are coming together since that dispute over tariffs. What is the significance of this meeting, and what do you think each side is hoping to get out of it?
That's right. It seems to have been ended on an optimistic note. Of course, relations between the two presidents really deteriorated during the summer, with Trump slapping these punitive 50% tariffs on a lot of Brazilian exports because of the treatment of Jair Bolsonaro, a key Trump ally. But both sides have emerged saying that a deal is within reach, possibly talking about holding bilateral talks, with Brazil asking for a suspension of some of these tariffs while these talks take place. Now, the trade between the US and Brazil is very indicative of just how trade patterns around the world have really been turned upside down by these reciprocal tariffs. While tariffs on things like exports of beef from Brazil have made beef more expensive for American consumers and reduced the amount that Brazil is exporting to the US, it has increased hugely the amount it exports to China, as these different trading blocs are looking for alternatives to trade with the United States.
And Rob, the US is also signing a series of trade deals on the sidelines of the ASEAN summit. What more can you tell us about that?
That's right. I mean, these tariffs have very much overshadowed all of these meetings of the ASEAN, and on the sidelines of ASEAN. ASEAN members, of course, are facing some of the tougher of the Trump's tariffs of anywhere between 10 and 40%. But it does seem to have opened the way for negotiations. It's given ASEAN members of Southeast Asian countries the chance to explain their position to the US delegation. And we have seen the US negotiating some agreements, like an agreement between Malaysia and the US on a strengthening trade between the two, in spite of the tariffs, and giving the US preferential access to Malaysian markets. We've had an announcement of a potential trade framework being announced within a matter of weeks with Vietnam, with the possibility of some relief of tariffs. Probably the most consequential set of talks has been between the US and Chinese delegations, with Li Chenggang, he is the chief Chinese negotiator, saying that talks were candid and comprehensive. And of course, this comes as a very important prelude to the next stage of Trump's visit to Asia. That's taking him up to South Korea, when we will have a long-anticipated summit with his Chinese opposite number, Xi Jinping, amid talk of a potential big trade deal being in the works between China and the US.
OK, thank you so much for that. Rob McBride there with the latest from Kuala Lumpur.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.